There is a chair in your room you stare at when you cannot sleep. I want to talk to you tonight. Something is moving toward you that will surprise you completely. Do not scroll past this. If you walk away now, you will miss the exact explanation you have been begging for. You will spend another year asking me for the exact thing that was sitting in front of you tonight. The silence you have been living in is about to break, but you have to stay where I can reach you, my steady one. I saw what you did at 3 in the morning. You picked up the phone in the dark. You looked at the screen hoping a message had finally come. And when it was empty, you set it face down and let the quiet crush you. I was in that room with you. I have been in every single room. I am telling you what is coming, and I am telling you now. I have watched this exact pattern happen 10,000 times. You are going to understand why the last season had to close in complete silence. You will feel the heavy relief of knowing every word you prayed was actually recorded, and you will know exactly how to walk through the door opening today. You will do it without bracing yourself for another disappointment. You are not at the end of your story. You are standing right at the threshold of a sudden shift. Type Amen to show me you are listening. Do it now, so your hands agree with your heart. Let me give you something you can hold right now. You slept the whole night through, but you woke up and immediately felt a wave of bitter disappointment. The day had not even started, but you had already decided it would bring nothing new. You went to the kitchen and made coffee. You stared out the window and told yourself to stop hoping. You felt the familiar ache in your chest. You rehearsed the same tired script in your head before you even spoke to anyone. You call that realism. You think you are just being wise and protecting your own heart. But here is the truth you need to hear. Disappointment is not wisdom. It is simply the mind defending itself against the danger of hoping again. You are terrified that hoping will hurt you the way it hurt you last time. You have built a fortress out of low expectations. You have mistaken that fortress for clarity. The mind does not resist joy. The mind resists exposure. It creates a fog of pessimism to keep you safe from the pain of a closed door. Do not fight that fear tonight. Just look at it. When the heavy feeling arrives tomorrow morning, say out loud that you see it. Say it in the quiet of your kitchen. Recognizing the noise is the very first step to making it quiet. And the noise is about to get very quiet. You do not have to fix your entire life today. You only need to notice the wall you built. I want to speak to the exhaustion in your bones, not the tiredness of a long day at work. I am talking about the deep weariness of waiting for a season to change. The sky refuses to give you a single sign. You have kept going when anyone else would have quit. You have done the right things in the dark. You have showed up for people who never bothered to show up for you. But recently, something inside you shifted. You started to pull your expectations back. You still pray the same prayers, but you say them quietly now. You took the weight off your own words. You cannot bear the thought of another empty week. You told yourself that if you expect nothing, you will not be broken when nothing arrives. You let go of the hope just to survive the waiting. I do not condemn you for that shield. A heart that has been bruised by waiting learns to build walls out of pure survival. You are surviving. But survival is not the end of the story I wrote for you. You have looked at the silence and translated it into rejection. You assumed I did not move the mountain immediately. You thought I had walked away and left you standing in the valley alone. That is a heavy conclusion to carry. It is also completely untrue. I was not ignoring your voice. I was preparing the ground under your feet. It had to hold the weight of what is coming. The silence was never an empty room. The silence was a workshop. And the work being done was not on the circumstance, but on you. You had to be made ready to hold the blessing without dropping it. Between the asking and the arriving, a work is being done on the vessel. You thought the stillness meant the season was permanently closed. You thought you had missed your chance, or that you were simply not meant to have it. I saw every tear you shed over that assumption. Not one was wasted. You have been waiting for a loud announcement, but my greatest shifts always arrive quietly. You have carried this silence for so long that it feels like a heavy coat you cannot take off. You go to work, you pay the bills, you sit in traffic and watch the cars move. And all the while, there is a quiet ache sitting right behind your ribs. You wonder if this is all there is. You wonder if the life you prayed for was just a foolish dream. I know that feeling perfectly. I know exactly what you do when the house goes quiet at night. You sit on the edge of the bed, you look at the dark wall, and you ask me why the answer is taking so long. You have asked that question in the shower. You have asked it while folding clothes. You have whispered it while driving home in the rain. I heard every single syllable you spoke. Not one word slipped away. I know the thought moving through your mind right now. You are thinking you have heard all this before. You are thinking you have knelt and cried and made promises to me. You held your faith together for weeks. And then the month ended exactly where it began. You feel like you are walking in circles. You believe nothing is ever going to actually change for you. That is a heavy burden. You are telling me the truth about how tired you are. I will not argue with your own history. You lived every hour of that long wait, and I was standing there with you for every single hour. I am not offended by your exhaustion. I made the part of you that feels the ache of time passing. The caution in your heart is not a defect. It is armor you earned honestly through deep pain. You have been promised things by people who just wanted something from you. You have been told to hold on by friends who did not have to carry your load. So you learned to protect yourself by expecting nothing. You decided that hoping was simply too expensive. You withdrew your heart from the prayer so you would not be crushed when the door stayed closed. I see that thick wall you built. I have watched this exact sequence happen 10,000 times in 10,000 different houses. First comes the striving, then comes the exhaustion, and only after the exhaustion comes the deep quiet where a person decides they are forgotten. You have completed the first 2 steps. You have been standing in the 3rd step for longer than you realize. But the sequence does not end there. The waiting has taken a terrible toll on your physical body. You carry the tension heavily in your neck. Your sleep is broken by anxious thoughts. You wake up feeling like you ran a long race in the dark. That is what happens when a soul tries to carry the future. The body keeps the score when the heart refuses to set the worry down. You were never designed to hold tomorrow. There is another quiet thought standing at the back of your mind. You are thinking this message is beautiful, but it belongs to someone else. You believe your situation is too complicated. You think your past choices have permanently disqualified you from receiving a sudden miracle. You assume I am speaking to the good people in the row ahead of you. Listen to me very carefully. Your specific details belong to you alone, but the mechanism underneath them is older than your name. I have sat with the prisoner, and I have sat with the grieving mother. Their circumstances shared nothing at all, but their 3 a.m. fears were exactly identical. Your story is unrepeatable, but the ache beneath it is something I have healed 1,000,000 times before. I am telling you what is moving toward you, and I am telling you tonight. There is no version of this story where I let you wander in the dark forever. I do not speak twice about small things. What I start, I finish completely. There has never been an exception to that rule, and you are certainly not going to be the first exception. My holy word does not return to me empty. You feel like your prayers have been bouncing off an iron ceiling. You asked in the way you were taught, then you asked in ways no one ever taught you, and still, the room stayed completely quiet. You concluded that my silence was a firm rejection. You thought I looked at your life and decided to simply pass you by. That is the greatest lie the noise of the world ever told you. I will not tell you the room was not quiet. It was deeply quiet. You did not imagine that silence, and you certainly did not deserve it. But silence and absence are 2 entirely different things. The human heart cannot always tell them apart. So you filled the quiet with the worst explanation you could find. You told yourself you were simply unworthy of the answer. I am not asking you to call those painful years good. I am only asking you to consider that you were not walking through them alone. The isolation you felt was real, but it was not the whole truth. There was a presence in the room that your tired eyes could not see. I was guarding you from things you did not even know were moving toward you. You were constantly protected. This is settled in heaven. Your part is smaller, and it is immediate. Type I was not imagining the weight to agree with me right now. Write it plainly in the comments while you still remember what it cost you to carry it alone. You do not have to carry it alone anymore. Stay with me a little longer. The thing I brought you here to understand has not been fully revealed yet. Let me finish. I know how hard it is to keep showing up when heaven feels like solid brass, especially when you look around and see other people receiving their answers so easily. They get the sudden phone call. They get the miraculous provision. They get the healing. And you are left sitting in the exact same chair you sat in 5 years ago. You smile and congratulate them. You genuinely feel happy for their sudden breakthrough. But underneath that warm smile, your heart fractures just a little bit more. You wonder what they did right that you somehow did wrong. You wonder if there is a secret formula you completely missed. You lie awake and analyze your own prayers to see if you used the wrong words. I want you to stop interrogating your own soul right now. There is no secret formula. You did not pray the wrong words. Your faith is not broken or defective. The silence you are experiencing is not a cruel punishment. It is something entirely different. Let me describe a specific prayer you used to pray all the time. You used to speak it out loud with absolute confidence. You cried over it. You begged me for it. But somewhere along the way, you quietly took it out of your daily conversation with me. You still ask me to bless your family and guide your steps. But that one specific request is completely gone from your mouth. You stopped saying it because hoping for it started to hurt too much. Every time you asked and saw nothing change, the disappointment cut a little deeper into your spirit. So you carefully folded that dream up and put it away. You told yourself you were surrendering to my will. You called it peaceful acceptance. But when you are alone in the dark, the ache of that abandoned prayer still keeps you awake. You have drawn a very logical conclusion from my long silence. You concluded that I simply said no. You thought I examined your earnest request, looked at your life, and decided you were not meant to have it. On your darkest nights, you believed something much worse than a simple rejection. You believed I was not even listening to you at all. You thought your desperate words were dissolving into thin air. Hear me clearly today. I am not deaf to your voice. I have never once turned my face away from your tears. You did not stop praying because you lost your faith. You stopped praying. You were trying to survive the crushing weight of disappointment. You were protecting a wounded heart from taking another beating. I do not condemn you for guarding your own heart. I saw the terrible toll the waiting was taking on your body. But silence is not the end. Here is the truth you have not been told by anyone. Silence and refusal are not the same thing. The human mind cannot easily tell them apart, so it fills the quiet space with bitter rejection. But listen to what actually happens in a waiting season. Between your asking and the arrival of the answer, a massive work is being done. But the work is not being done on the circumstance. The work is being quietly done on you. A gift that arrives before your hands are strong enough to hold it is not a mercy. It is a tragedy dressed up as a beautiful blessing. I have watched amazing answers crush the very people who begged for them. They were not ready. And I refuse to let that happen to you. I am going to name this season so you can finally stop fighting it. This is the unfinished yes. It is not a no. It is simply a yes that is still under heavy construction. Now look back over those silent years with completely new eyes. You called them abandoned years. You thought you were wandering aimlessly in a dry desert. You were not being ignored in that desert. You were being deeply formed. Ask yourself honestly what you can handle today that would have completely destroyed you 5 years ago. You carry a quiet resilience now. You possess a deep empathy you never had before. None of that strength came from your easily answered prayers. All of it was forged in the long silence you mistook for rejection. The waiting was never empty of my presence. You simply could not see me working because I was working on the hidden foundation. I was expanding your capacity to hold the sudden shift that is coming. The silence was the final stage of preparation. I was protecting the blessing by carefully preparing the vessel. I will not ask you to force yourself back into that painful prayer tonight. I know exactly how tired your spirit is right now. I only ask you to change one single word. When you talk to me tonight, do not ask why I have not answered you. Ask me what I am building instead. Say it just once before you go to sleep. Change the question, and the heavy feeling of rejection will immediately begin to lose its grip on your chest. If you are willing to trust my timing, I want you to make a quiet declaration right now. Type, "My season is not late" in the comments below. Do not type it for anyone else to read. Type it as a physical act of setting down the heavy disappointment you have carried for years. The door is finally about to open. Stay right here with me. You finally know why the waiting kept happening. Come, stand in the season where the waiting actually stops. Remember the unfinished yes I just named for you. I want you to see what it looks like when the deep preparation is finally complete. Come with me to a beautiful morning exactly 6 months from now. It is an ordinary weekday and nothing special has been announced. But when you wake up, your feet find the floor without a single argument. The heavy dread has completely left your body. The phone rings on the kitchen counter while you are pouring your morning coffee. You see a familiar name on the screen bringing the exact news you have desperately waited for. And here is the profound miracle I want you to notice. Your stomach does not drop, and you do not instantly brace yourself for a painful disappointment like you used to. You answer the call with a wonderfully light heart. Notice what is completely missing from that beautiful morning. The quiet dread is simply gone. You do not immediately try to figure out how this good news will eventually break. You do not build a thick wall of low expectations to protect yourself. That heavy armor is nowhere to be found. You are simply standing in the pure light of an answered prayer. That morning is not a fragile dream. She already exists, and she is walking toward you right now. She is standing firmly on the other side of your willingness to let me finish the deep work. The distance between you and that beautiful morning is not measured in time. It is measured in your willing permission. You only need to allow me to finish the vessel. But there is something else standing in your way right now. Let me describe a painful moment you have lived through deeply. You are having a genuinely good day, and you felt true peace for the first time in many long weeks. Then you looked at where you currently are in your life. You looked at what you have built, and suddenly, your progress felt hopelessly small. You saw someone else receive the exact blessing you have been waiting for, and in less than 10 seconds, your peaceful room turned completely gray. Nothing in your actual life changed in those 10 terrible seconds. Nobody took anything away from your hands, but you felt an overwhelming urge to give up hope entirely. You felt like you were moving backward. You scolded yourself harshly for feeling that way. You told yourself you should be much more grateful for what you already have. You decided that your sudden sadness was absolute proof of a terribly weak faith. You concluded that you are simply failing at life. Hear me clearly right now. You are not failing, and you are certainly not ungrateful. Ingratitude is not your real problem at all. You are actually one of the most thankful people I know. Something else happened in that quiet moment. It was a silent theft, and you were the innocent one being robbed. You did not lose your hard-earned progress. You simply fell into a hidden trap that has been stealing your joy for many long years. I will explain how it works. A human soul cannot measure and receive at the exact same time. Those are two entirely different spiritual postures. The moment you begin to weigh your life against another person, your hands automatically close into tight fists. And a closed hand absolutely cannot hold the beautiful blessing that is already sitting in the room with it. That is why the peace vanished from your chest so quickly. You started calculating how far behind you are. I am going to name this quiet enemy so you can finally catch it in the act. This is the thief of now. It never touches your broken past or your distant future. It relentlessly steals the holy present moment you are currently standing in. Now, look back at all those years you spent feeling terribly behind. You were not actually behind anyone. You were just measuring. And a soul that is constantly measuring cannot possibly see the solid ground under its own feet. All that time, there was a beautiful life growing around you. You missed it because you were staring intently at a completely different clock. You did not fail to be happy. You were simply turned away from the joy. Every time you felt like giving up your hope, it was because you let the thief convince you that your season was entirely wrong. Your season was never wrong. You were exactly where I needed you to be. The divine timing of your life was always absolutely perfect. I want you to take your joy back today. When the heavy urge to compare yourself rises again, do not fight it with bitter guilt. Simply lift your eyes and name 3 physical things in the room you are standing in. Notice the bright light on the wall. Notice the steady breath rising in your chest. Notice the strong chair supporting you. That is all you have to do to win. The thief cannot operate while it is being closely watched. The present moment returns to you the second you look straight at it. Open your hands and let the painful measuring go. Your life is not a frantic competition against anyone else. It is a divine calling that unfolds exactly as I have beautifully planned it. I know there is a heavy sentence you have been holding since long before tonight. You are thinking about the prayers you prayed. You are thinking about how you asked for years. You asked in the way you were taught. And then you asked in ways no one ever taught you, but the room stayed completely quiet. You feel like your voice just disappeared into the ceiling. I will not tell you the room was not quiet. It was deeply quiet. You did not imagine that painful silence. You did not deserve it. And no one has the right to explain it away in a quick sentence and just move on. I will also not tell you that you asked wrongly. You did not use the wrong words. There was no better hour and no truer posture. Anyone who tells you the flaw was in your technique is telling you a terrible lie. Here is the only thing I will offer you today. Silence is not the same as absence. A father sitting in the dark beside his resting child makes no sound at all. The child might wake up and believe he is totally alone in the house. He is wrong about the empty house. He is right about the dark. The dark was real and it was long, but you were never alone inside it. Because of that long silence, you started to deeply doubt your own worth. You began to hold a courtroom inside your own chest. You served as the judge and the witness. You were the accused all at the exact same time. You put yourself on trial for every single mistake you ever made. Last night you lost 3 hours, and you cannot tell me where they went. You sat down in front of the one thing that actually matters. You looked at the important work or the difficult letter, and within 90 seconds a heavy blanket came down over your eyes. Suddenly the desk needed clearing. Suddenly you had to answer trivial messages. You got up and walked away. You carried that particular shame to bed with you. You have carried it 1,000 nights before. You have a very cruel word for yourself on nights like that. You call yourself lazy. You call yourself undisciplined. You tell yourself there is something fundamentally broken in you that other people do not have. You honestly believe you are simply defective. My beloved child, that harsh word has never fit you. I want that word out of your mouth forever. You have carried other people through terrible years. You barely survived them yourself. A lazy soul does not do that. A defective heart does not bleed for other people. The word is completely wrong. And because the word is wrong, your entire self-judgment is wrong too. Here is what is actually happening deep inside you. The human mind does not resist hard work. The mind resists exposure. Look at the tasks you always avoid. They are never the physically hardest tasks. They are the revealing ones. They are the moments where you would finally find out what you are truly made of. You are terrified of being measured and found wanting. So your brilliant mind builds a thick fog in front of that door. It calls that fog tomorrow. It creates a distraction to keep you perfectly safe from the pain of failing. It is not self-sabotage. It is a loyal bodyguard who has never been told the war is actually over. I'm going to name this right now. This is the protective delay. Now go back with me through all your unfinished things. Look at the drawer of half-written pages. Look at the beautiful plan you mentioned once and never spoke of again. You were not lazy in those painful years. You were heavily guarded. Something in you decided long ago that being unfinished was much safer than being judged by a cruel world. You made that choice because someone measured you badly when you were young. Someone who had absolutely no right to hold the scale made you feel incredibly small. You have not been failing to begin your life. You have simply been protecting a deep wound that no one ever bothered to tend. I see that bleeding wound clearly, and I am healing it tonight. So today, I want you to change your approach. Do not promise me the whole finished project. Promise me 15 minutes, and promise me you will do it badly on purpose. Open the file or take out the page. Touch the work with no intention of doing it perfectly. 15 minutes of poor work is the only thing the fog cannot survive. The protective fog exists to keep you from being judged, and there is absolutely nothing to judge in 15 deliberately imperfect minutes. Set the clock and begin before you feel ready. Readiness has never once arrived first. It always comes in right behind the brave work you choose to do. You break the painful cycle of blame the moment you allow yourself to be beautifully imperfect. Everything I have said to you up to this sentence was pure recognition. I wanted you to know that you are deeply understood. But from this sentence forward, we are moving into solid declaration. The ground under your feet has been fully prepared. The heavy chains of self-blame have been shattered. I am about to speak over your future. You needed me close for that gentle healing part. For this next part, you need me to be fiercely clear. I am not done describing what happened to you. I am ready to tell you exactly what is being done about it. Lift your head and prepare your heart. The season of hiding is permanently closed. The season of rising is finally here. Which one were you? The one who stayed outside, or the one who is ready to walk in? 1. Type "the closed door was mercy" in the comments. Let me see your answer. Once you have seen this truth, you can absolutely never unsee it, and everything that comes after this beautiful moment is firmly built on top of it. You understand the hidden mechanism now, but mere understanding is not your final destination today. Understanding without action is just another way to stay safely hidden. Understanding is only the doorway. Let that reality settle in your spirit for one deep breath. Then let me show you exactly what it makes possible. This is where most people go quiet with relief and simply stop walking. Do not stop walking tonight. The larger thing is still waiting right in front of you. It requires you to step forward with a completely open heart. The heavy knot is completely loose. Now I will show you what was tied up inside it all along. The long season of quiet preparation is over. You have endured the difficult breaking. You have faithfully carried the heavy questions when no one gave you any clear answers. You stood in the dark and refused to completely let go of my hand. That silent endurance was not a waste of your valuable time. It was the exact fire required to forge the vessel you are today. And the vessel is ready to be filled. I want to lift your tired eyes from the painful dirt. Stop looking at the broken pieces of the old season. They served their hard purpose, and now they are entirely finished. You are about to step into a space that does not require you to constantly defend yourself. You will not have to earn your right to simply sit at the table. You already belong there. Remember the protective fog I named for you earlier. Come and stand in a bright season where that fog has completely lifted. Come with me to a beautiful evening exactly 1 year from today. It is late and the house has gone quiet. It is that peaceful quiet when everyone else is finally resting. You sit down at the kitchen table and you open the drawer. You take out the important envelopes and put them under the lamp, and your breathing does not change at all. Your hand is wonderfully steady on the paper. There is no quiet dread waiting under that bright lamp for you anymore. You do not do the anxious arithmetic 3 times just to see if it comes out differently. You do not lie awake rehearsing fearful conversations. The old heavy shame is simply not in the room. It did not leave with a massive sum of sudden money. It left when you finally stopped hiding from the hard work. That peaceful evening is not a fragile fantasy. It already exists. It is not waiting on something spectacular to randomly fall out of the blue sky. It is waiting on the far side of your daily obedience. It is waiting on the far side of one honest hour. It is the hour you keep pushing to the very end of every single week. It is the holy hour where you finally look at the whole picture. You look at it instead of glancing at broken pieces in the dark. Do not try to fix an entire year tonight. Just take the 15 minutes I asked you for. The shift begins there. Everything I have spoken until now was deep preparation. We are finally walking into the thing itself. Lift your head right now. What comes next is not gentle information. It is a holy moment. I have been walking you toward one specific truth this entire time, and we have finally arrived at the threshold of it. The barren ground has been thoroughly prepared. Now I speak directly over it. Breathe once and hear me say the thing I have wanted to say since you first arrived. You are stepping into the sudden shift. It will not look like the slow progress you are used to. It will look like a heavy door swinging wide open. It will open without anyone touching the handle. It will look like an unearned inheritance. I am not telling you this to give you false comfort. I am telling you this because the shift requires your full participation. You cannot walk into a new room while holding the handle of the old door. Let the old door close. Let the familiar pain go. You have worshipped at the altar of your own disappointment for way too long. The altar must fall today. I am tearing that dark altar down tonight. I am clearing the bright space for a joy that actually terrifies you. Joy is much scarier than sorrow. Joy can be suddenly lost. Sorrow is predictable and safe, but I did not create you to live a predictable life. I created you to walk on the water. I created you to step into the glorious unknown with absolute confidence. Do not pull back when the good thing finally arrives. Do not intensely look for the hidden trapdoor. There is no trapdoor. I am handing you the exact answer you begged for. Receive it with completely open arms. Receive it without apologizing for your own beautiful blessing. You have paid the heavy price in the dark. Pass. Now stand up and claim your portion. There is one thing I have not given you yet. I have been holding it back on purpose. It would have meant nothing to you an hour ago. It has a specific name. I will call it the last word I kept. 2. You will not receive it in the part of this message that sounds like an ending. You will receive it after the quiet part. Stay where you are. Do not miss it. You are standing at the very edge of the exact thing you asked for, but you are terrified to take the final step. You look at the sudden shift happening in front of you, and instead of feeling overwhelming joy, you feel a deep sense of panic. You want to turn around and run back to the familiar waiting room. You have waited for so long that the waiting feels like home. You are actively looking for a reason to reject the blessing. You are desperately searching for the hidden catch. You tell yourself that this cannot possibly be the real answer. You think you must have misunderstood my voice. You believe you are making a massive mistake by stepping through this new door. Hear me clearly right now. You are not making a mistake, and you are certainly not failing. You are standing squarely in front of the answered prayer. The panic you feel is not a holy warning. It is just your tired mind trying to protect you from the terrifying unknown. Your mind knows exactly how to survive in the dark, and it knows how to endure the long silence. But it has absolutely no idea how to live in the bright light of a fulfilled promise. Your mind is resisting the sudden change. Joy feels incredibly dangerous. Disappointment is safe and completely predictable. You know exactly how to handle a closed door. But an open door requires you to step into a completely new identity. It demands that you drop the heavy armor you have worn for a decade. Do not let your fear steal this holy moment. Hear me where you make your decisions. You were never behind, and you were never the one who missed it. You believed the silence meant the season was permanently closed. You believed your story was completely over. But the silence was only the final stage of preparation before a sudden, unexpected shift. The shift is here. The door is open. The waiting is completely finished. Every time you almost gave up, I was watching. Every time you wept on the floor, I was watching. Every time you kept walking when you had absolutely nothing left in you, I saw it all. None of it went unwitnessed, and not one single hour of your quiet faithfulness was wasted. I collected every broken piece of your heart. I am handing them back to you whole. I am ending the heavy argument today, not softening it, ending it. You are not late. You are not less. You are not the exception to my faithfulness. Lift your tired head right now. Say it with me in the quiet of your room. I am not late. Say it again until your spirit actually believes the words. The long winter is permanently over. I am not asking you to feel perfectly ready. Readiness has never once arrived before the brave step. It always comes in right behind the obedience. Take the step while your hands are still shaking. Walk through the sudden opening while your mind is still catching up to the miracle. I am holding you completely steady. You will not fall. The ground is absolutely solid. And this specific invitation will not remain suspended in the air forever. I am not rushing you out of anger. I am pressing you out of deep love. The season of preparation has completely expired. You cannot stay in the birth canal. You must be pushed out into the bright light. Take a deep breath and accept the sudden shift. Your new name is already written on the next room. Now that you have received the truth, I have to tell you what will come to take it back. The enemy cannot stop the door from opening. He does not have the authority to close what I have opened, but he can absolutely convince you to stand outside the door. He wants you to refuse to walk through it, using your own familiar fear against you. Hear this before you go any further. There is a terrible cost to walking away from this open door. It is not a cost anyone will send you a bill for. It is paid quietly in the things you slowly stop expecting. If you turn back now, you will walk right back into the heavy silence. You will spend another year asking me for the exact thing that was sitting right here. You will live another 12 months, wearing the exact same exhaustion you came in with today. I refuse to let you walk back into that dark room. I am standing firmly between you and that tragic outcome, and I am not moving. But you have to stay where my hand can reach you. Do not let the familiar pain pull you back into the old pattern. You have a choice to make before this day ends. You can choose the comfortable disappointment, or you can choose the terrifying joy of a sudden miracle. Choose the joy. Step over the threshold and do not look back at the waiting room. The provision you need for the new season is waiting on the other side of the door. It cannot be delivered to the hallway. If you are willing to walk into the new room, I want you to make it final. Write, "I receive what I asked for" in the comments below. Claim your portion before the day ends. Do not let the familiar noise pull you back tonight. You have a terrible habit of talking yourself out of the miracle right before it actually arrives. I am warning you about your own mind. It will try to convince you that this sudden shift is a massive mistake, and it will tell you to stay in the waiting room because the waiting room is incredibly safe. Do not listen to that fearful voice. You know exactly what that voice sounds like. It sounds like pure logic. It sounds like careful wisdom telling you to lower your expectations. It wants to make sure you will never be embarrassed. That is not true wisdom at all. That is simply the enemy using your own unresolved pain to keep you completely paralyzed. The cost of retreating now is not something you pay with ordinary money. You pay it with another entire year of exactly what you have been living. You pay it in the quiet moments when you realize you walked away from the completely open door. I will not force you to step through it against your will, but I will not let you walk away without telling you exactly what you are losing today. You lose the sudden breakthrough. You lose the beautiful restoration I prepared for you. The choice is yours entirely. But understand that choosing to stay hidden is still a choice. It is a choice to let fear dictate the rest of your unfinished story. Now come close and let the heavy words rest. The loud commanding is completely finished. I want to speak to you the way a loving father speaks at the end of a very long day. Put your tired shoulders down. There is absolutely nothing left for you to figure out tonight. The teaching is over, and the deep healing is quietly taking its permanent place inside your heart. You are completely safe here. You do not have to perform for me. You do not have to pretend you are perfectly strong. Just sit still and let me hold you for a quiet moment before you finally go. You came into this hour carrying a heavy shield of bitter disappointment. You were terrified to hope again. Hoping had cost you so much in the painful past. You are not walking out with that heavy shield. I am replacing your profound fear with a quiet and steady confidence. You are moving from the cold waiting room directly into the bright season of the sudden shift. You will no longer measure your life by the doors that stayed firmly closed. You will no longer assume my silence is a cruel and permanent rejection. You will walk with the quiet assurance of someone who knows they are deeply loved. And this beautiful transformation will not stop with you alone. The children in your family will learn how to trust. They watched you trust in the pitch dark. The people who see you tomorrow will wonder how you carry such profound peace in a highly chaotic world. You are breaking a generational cycle of despair just by standing firmly in this brand new truth. My steady one, that is exactly what I am doing in you. The heavy burden is permanently lifted. I promised you one final thing before we finish this holy hour. I called it the last word I kept. I held it back. You could not have carried it when you first arrived. You needed to drop the heavy armor before your hands were empty enough to hold this beautiful thing. And here is the beautiful word I kept just for you. The long silence was never about denying your specific request. The silence was about transforming you into the specific person who could actually sustain the massive blessing. You thought I was withholding the beautiful gift from you. I was actually protecting the precious gift from crushing you before you were totally ready. If I had given it to you 3 years ago, your anxious heart would have completely ruined it. You would have constantly worried about losing it, but now you are finally ready. You are the exact person who can hold the sudden shift without dropping it and without doubting it. That is the whole truth. That is why the door is finally swinging wide open for you tonight. Let that glorious truth settle deep into your weary bones. Your long obedience in the dark has forged a brilliant light that no one can ever extinguish. You survived the silent winter, and you are fully prepared for the abundant spring. I am so incredibly proud of you. I have always been intensely proud of you. Everything I came to say has been firmly planted in your spirit. Now go, walk boldly into the new room. Do not look back at the old ashes. I have said everything I came to say. What happens next is entirely up to you. Put your hand on these words and make them yours permanently. Type "I say yes" with my life in the comments right now. Do it as a physical seal on the spiritual shift you just experienced. Let this place know you stayed until the very end. When you write it where others can see it, you stop being someone who just listened to a message. You become someone who stepped into a brand new reality. The words you type today will serve as an anchor for your soul tomorrow. I read what my children write. I am waiting for your final answer.